guys. So back again with Young Justice. Once again, this is the other episode that aired before, but once again, if you didn't see it, and everybody kind of who appreciates my recap slash reviews, that's why I do this. So let's talk about this episode. Um, Before Dawn. This is episode 10, I believe, or episode, yeah, of season 2. um this picks up right where the last episode left off, where we kind of get to see who that other faction who's working with the light, in a sense. So we pick up the date. It's in the Pacific Ocean, March 30th, and uh that's pretty much where Jaime wakes up in a pod. We kind of see where Jaime got the scarab in the beginning, and then he wakes up in a pod, and we see him trapped, and pretty much he's being watched by two strangers, and they're speaking in this like cryptic language. We don't know, but the scarab is telling them what happened and everything like that, and they can't break free. And we also see that Aqualad is with them, and he's getting the lowdown on who they are and why they're here, and many things like that. Uh, it is showcased that two aliens are pretty much part of the group known as the Reach, and they have come to basically, in a sense, uh, how can I put it? They're trying to they are the ones that have been adopting the teenagers and everything like that, and they're testing humans' ability to develop meta powers, in a sense. That's how I can consider it like that. Uh, so and that's pretty much the basis of it. In the meantime, Nightwing and the gang are tracking them down because of Tim and Barbara. They went undercover. They went in to get the lowdown, as well as to get their friends, Aqualad and all of them out. Um, and that's where Nightwing pretty much tells them, okay, execute the plan. Let's get our friends out. And in doing so, they pretty much succeed in that, but it doesn't go really according to plan, guys. Like, the plan's not really, executed with without some kind of obstacles in their way. Um, for example, Impulse, when he gets freed, Bart goes to free Jaime, and then he tells Jaime what's the future where he's from, and he showcases that Blue takes over the Earth and enslaves the humans in his future. And kind of, he also gives a clue. That's why Bart really kind of comes back to the past. And, Jaime's still really confused because he's been tortured and things like that, because the Reach were trying to extract the scarab from him, but it was going to kill him, in a sense. That's what Black Beetle said. Uh, so, and, Jaime's really discombobulated, and he's basically like, no, I wouldn't do that. And, we all know Jaime wouldn't do that, but something must have changed to have him become that way, and we get to see that. Don't want to spoil everything, especially if you haven't seen it. Uh, but the main thing that I really wanted to talk about really was this episode is where finally Megan encountered Aqualad, and oh my God, poor Calder. Um, she saw him, and it was like, and she just mind wiped the hell out of him. Like, she went full blown telepathy into his head, and she saw everything. She saw basically the factor that Aqualad is not a traitor. He's deep undercover, and he's a double agent. And it got so bad that what she did to him when she stopped, he was almost in a catatonic state. I mean, all he needed to be doing was drooling, guys. Like, because she, like, really mind wiped him crazy. And then that's where Artemis, dressed up like Tigress, came in, and she basically telepathically said, "McGann, what have you done?" So, in a sense, this is what we, as the fans, and as what Connor has been talking about with McGann, is like you're pushing it now. You're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. You're mind wiping people, and she did it out of anger, but still, it was like you're pushing it too far. You becoming something that you're not, and that was something that was really interesting. Now the rest of the team is battling Black Beetle, and it wasn't looking that good. Now we do get to see Static in this, but it wasn't really questioned if that was Static if you haven't seen it. But I knew it was Static, and there are the color streams of, okay, that's Static, but we don't. He doesn't showcase his abilities, and they seem to may have altered his altered his origin in a sense. Like the Reach gave him his electrical powers instead of the Big Bang in a sense. Uh, but yeah, Blue Beetle was just Black Beetle was really just beating the crap out of, especially when he grabbed Cat Casey, Wonder Girl. He just was slamming her, and it was just like, oh, Casey, oh God, like, because he said, I'll put you through the wall, literally, and halfway it was hard, the hard way, and you just saw it. It was just like, oh, Cassie, oh God, it knocked her out, but it was still interesting. But then, of course, the big battle between Blue and Black, that was a really good fight between Blue Beetle and Black Beetle. Jaime gave the Scarab full control, so it was really the Scarab really fighting instead of Jaime. But it really ended bad, especially for for Calder in a sense. But Jaime was able to get away and things like that. We also saw that Shimmer, she gained some common abilities too. We saw that as well. She was one of the people that was captured. And that's then the afterwards, March, what was that? March 21st. Nightwing tells the rest of the gang, the rest of the Justice League, what happened and who's responsible, and the Reach go public, so so the people can embrace us and not see what they're really up to. And that's where pretty much it ends, in a sense, where Aquaman and Captain Atom are just watching it, and just like Aquaman says, this is good because now we know exactly where they are, right? Where they are, and things like that. So it ended on a cliff note, but it was a cliffhanger. But the main question is, what's going to happen, really, in a sense, with the rest of, especially with, that now that McGann knows the truth, is she going to tell the others? And I think Superboy does find out about it and things like that. So that's going to put like a kind of a stamp on, Dick. Like, why did you keep this from us? And things like that. So that's really where I'm looking more into, like, okay, how's this going to affect Dick in a sense, and how's the rest of the team? I think all you guys have been saying that, asking me that, like, how's that going to affect the rest of the team when they find out about it. But the next episode, which airs next week, called Cornered, pretty much from what the synopsis is, the team is trapped in the Hall of Justice with this alien warrior. We don't know what it is. Um, and of course, there's some more that's going to go on with Reach, with the Reach, and then later on, Black Manta is going to come after McGann, for what she did to his son. So, it's looking good, but hopefully this show doesn't get canceled. So far they're saying it's going to be about 45 episodes. I'm hoping to get to third season. But as always, like I said, if you missed the episode and you maybe wanted to watch it, I got a link for you in the description so you can watch it there. Like I said, no charge. There's no kind of like, oh, this is you got to download something. No, it's free. It's a website that pretty much allows to watch good stuff like that. But other than that, yeah, the recap slash reviews are back. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, even if you've seen it already, but watching it again like me. And this is Mount Vernon Kid. You guys take care, and I'll see you guys next week with recap slash reviews for Young Justice and Green Lantern. Take care.